Lori Daybell, the so-called doomsday mom, guilty of murdering her 2 children.
7 marriages across 21 lifetimes. Unraveling the chilling transformation of Lori Vallow, a mother-turned-cult follower, culminating in a horrific sacrifice of her own flesh and blood. Lori Vallow was an all-American mom, just like any mother in Idaho. But within a year, she was referred to as an eternal being, married 7 different times out of 21 lives, and her leader convinced her to prepare for the end of times. What else was the soccer mom willing to sacrifice to be with the doomsday preacher? Let's find out. Lori Vallow, born Lori Noreen Cox, on June 26, 1973 in San Bernardino, California. Lori attended a private school. After earning a bachelor's degree, she briefly worked as a hairdresser and in 1992 married her high school boyfriend, Nelson Yanes, at 19 years old. The marriage resulted in divorce, but Lori found love again and got married to William LaGioia in 1995. The two had a son named Colby in 1996, and they split a couple of years later. In 2001, she married Joseph Anthony Ryan Jr., who also adopted Colby. They had a daughter, Tylee, the following year, but that too ended in 2005 with a divorce. Lori claimed Ryan was abusive, resulting in a fight between her brother Alex Cox and Ryan. The string of marriages finally led to Las Vegas, Nevada, where she married Leland Anthony Vallow, better known as Charles. The couple had a blended marriage with Charles' 2 sons and Lori's daughter Tylee. Since things were going so well, in 2013, they adopted Charles' grandnephew Joshua Jackson, or J.G. Vallow for short. J.G. was on the autism spectrum, but Lori was the perfect mother for him. She doted on the boy, was kind and patient. His big sister Tylee took him on like her own kin. And for a while, the sun was finally shining on this family. Things changed in 2017 when she became obsessed with the works of doomsday author Chad Daybell. Now, Daybell's books were not meant to be taken so seriously. They were mostly fiction. But Lori's husband Charles noticed she was increasingly interested in near-death and spiritual experiences. She was a former devoted member of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. Her religious beliefs appeared changed. He felt her drifting away day by day. In 2018, Lori Vallow finally met Chad Daybell, and according to her friends, there was an evident connection between them. They soon started collaborating on religious podcasts. Notably, Chad Daybell was already married to Tammy Daybell, and together they were raising 5 children. Lori's friend, Melanie Gibb, overheard the two discussing zombies, basically souls that were replaced by dark spirits. Once, while Charles was away, she invited her friends from this religious group for an overnight gathering. There, Daybell and Lori bonded over their beliefs and spent a lot of time talking. By February 2019, Charles went to the police for intervention. He was concerned about himself and the safety of his children after realizing her mental state was deteriorating. When her sisters found out, they were shocked at what she had gotten herself into. They felt she had joined a cult, but they couldn't imagine what would follow next. They never imagined she would actively harm her children. At one point, Lori told him she believed she was a divine deity tasked with carrying out the responsibilities of the 144,000 during Christ's anticipated second coming in July 2020. According to that belief, she held an eternal marriage with Prophet Moroni from the ancient Book of Mormon, and believed she had lived multiple lives on various planets before her present existence. Lori threatened Charles with death if he ever got in her way. She was obsessed with preparing for the end of days. Keeping in view her extreme religious views, he was worried things might go south. Once when he was on a business trip, Lori canceled his flight back. When he made his way home, he was shocked to find Lori, the children, and his truck missing, along with $35,000 in cash. A friend, April Raymond, heard Daybell ranking spirits. He ranked everyone with numbers. 2s and 3s were supposed to change sides from dark to light or vice versa, whereas anyone 4.1 and above was considered as rarely switching sides. She also overheard Lori seriously referring to her husband as a demon. Emails that were later recovered from Lori's account revealed Daybell had told Lori that her third husband, Tylee's father Joseph Ryan's spirit, was a 4.3D, Tylee was 4.1D, JJ was 4.2L, and that her estranged husband Charles was 3L, and brother Alex Cox a 2L. We can assume here that D was dark and L was light. Nearly 5 months after their separation, in July 2019, tragedy struck. Separated but co-parenting, Charles Vallow went to pick up his son JJ from Lori's house to drop him off at school. Lori was living in Chandler, Arizona by then. But there, he ran into Alex Cox, and the two had a huge fight about Lori. Allegedly, Charles tried to attack Alex, whereby he fatally shot Charles in self-defense. Tylee and Lori reported it was in self-defense, so Alex was not charged for murder. The following September, Lori moved to Rexburg, Idaho, with Alex in the same building. 8th September 2019 was the last time Lori, Tylee, JJ, and Alex Cox were photographed at Yellowstone Park. Allegedly, Tylee was missing after 8th September, and oddly the next morning, Alex's GPS showed him in Daybell's backyard for 2 hours. 14 minutes after he left, Daybell texted his wife about shooting and burying a raccoon in their pet cemetery. Odd timing. On 22nd September, while Lori's friend Melanie and her boyfriend David were staying at Lori's house, she saw Alex carry JJ into the bedroom. When David wanted to say hi to JJ, Lori said JJ was a zombie, and Alex had to take him away. The next day, Alex's GPS showed him in Daybell's backyard for 17 minutes. A strange coincidence. Over time, Lori and Chad Daybell got closer, raising their families. But on 19th October, Chad and his son called 911 to report that his wife Tammy had died in bed. Their mother was ill, so the children declined an autopsy. Lori and Daybell seemed to move on with life, albeit a little too soon. 2 weeks after Tammy Daybell's death, Chad and Lori got married on a Hawaiian beach. When JG's grandmother, Kate Woodcock, realized Lori was in Hawaii, she contacted authorities about not being able to reach JJ. Upon being contacted by the police, Lori claimed JJ was with her friend Melanie Gibb. Gibb obviously denied it. When Rexburg police tried to find little JJ, detectives had another shocking revelation. Tylee Ryan was also missing. She had been missing since her after their Yellowstone trip, September 8, 2019. This sparked a nationwide search for the two missing children. While this entire search was going on, Lori and Daybell went back to Hawaii in December, making investigators suspicious. Tammy Daybell's death raised suspicions, leading to the exhumation of her body for an autopsy, revealing she was strangled by someone. During the same month, Lori's brother, Alex Cox, passed away in Arizona, and it was determined to be due to natural causes. On January 25, 2020, authorities served Lori Vallow Daybell with an order to produce her children. A month later, after failing to do so, she was arrested and sent back to Idaho. In June, the couple's failure to cooperate led to FBI, Rexburg Police, and Fremont County Sheriff's Office to search Chad Daybell's property. Thanks to Alex Cox's cell phone pings, police dug in the right spots. In a shocking turn of events, the pet cemetery wasn't animal remains after all, but shallowly buried human remains. Little J.G. Vallow was recovered from under a tree, while the charged bits and pieces of Tylee were in the pet cemetery, in the same spot Daybell had told his wife he had buried a raccoon. As the remains were identified, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow were facing first-degree murder for the deaths of the two children. Furthermore, Daybell was also accused of killing Tammy Daybell, given the circumstances. A year later, in June 2021, while Daybell pled not guilty, Lori's case was put on hold as she got psychiatric treatment. A phone call between Lori and her sister emphasizes on how distant she was from reality, while her sister begged with her for truth. Her trial involved the testimony of friend Melanie Gibb and son Colby Ryan, as well as her sisters. In May 2023, Lori was found guilty as she stood utterly emotionless with dead eyes. Her sentencing is set for the 31st of July, and she could be facing life in prison without parole. Chad Daybell will stand trial separately from Lori. Whether she truly believed her children were zombies, or if she was simply trying to get rid of her old life to move on with her lover. Lori Vallow murdered 2 innocent children in cold blood. Not just anyone, but her own kin. Let that sink in. That's it for today, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below, as her sentencing is due in merely days. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications.